Bucs Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The Houdat chant is Ben Watson leading Saints fans from all over. They won the toss and want the football. Kyle Brinza kicking off, and Marcus Murphy back to return. And game two, Bucs and Saints for 2015 is happening in New Orleans. As Murphy watches it sail for a touchback, that's now 3 out of 4 for Brinza as he begins his NFL career for Tampa Bay. Here comes Drew Brees, the NFL's most accurate passer in the history of the league, and closing in on 400 career touchdown passes. At age 36, a different type of offense to open the season on the road at Arizona, a bit less aggressive than what we're used to from a Sean Payton, Drew Brees offense. But home here against the division rival, and a quick pass to start things and complete up to the 27 is Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, one of the starting receivers, along with the veteran Marcus Colston. We'll also see Brandon Coleman, the angular receiver at 6'6", and a very strong offensive line, the former Pro Bowl center from Seattle, Max Unger. After a gain of 8.
Here we go. Like 5-8. Here we go. Yellow, yellow. Yellow 80, yellow 80. Oh. 80,
It's Cooks. And the Buccaneers were ready. Danny Lanzana battling an ankle injury all week, making the stop on a loss of 3. And this Tampa Bay defense led up front by Gerald McCoy. We mentioned the rookie from LSU in the 4th round won the middle linebacking job. Quan Alexander takes in the calls, makes the defensive signals to the rest of the team. DJ Swearinger starting at one of the safety spots. An early 3rd and 6 here to start things. Kyrie Robinson, the back, who splits out now as a receiver.
Like 5-8. Ready,
Here comes a whistle and a flag.
Ball start, number 29 offense, correction offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Chris, a big early 3rd down here for the Buccaneers. Last week, they were pathetic on 3rd downs, and Marcus Mariota and that Tennessee offense went right through them no matter what the play or the down and distance was. So got a 3rd and long situation here. Let's see what Lovie Smith decides to dial up and get after Drew Brees today.
After the penalty, they have to get to the 30 for a 1st down. Brees open. Brandon Coleman with a 1st down catch.
Well, there's a general lack of pressure right there on Drew Brees. Knew that they were playing zone coverage. He just finds a hole in that defense like Drew Brees always does. When you have that much time to find this guy, this receiver, Brandon Coleman, 6'6", 225. He's going to be a problem all day for this defense.
Check. Like 5-8. Ready, what's that?
After a gain of 22, Mark Ingram on 1st down may lose a half a yard. The Saints did not run the ball well up at Arizona. Bucs acting as if they came out of there with a football. The whistle had blown. And C.J. Spiller now checks in at running back for the first time with a Saints uniform. Had the knee surgery. A career average of 5 yards a game, and a guy that Sean Payton has some special plans for today, although he may not play a lot. When he does play, he'll have an impact.
Well, he was a game changer in Buffalo, and they brought him in to be the same thing here in the Saints.
Ready,
Brees, complete. There goes Spiller. Another Saint 1st down, this one inside the 40 of Tampa Bay.
Well, if you watched the Arizona game last week, you saw a lot of scat protection, so the backs were running out of the backfield, and Drew Brees was targeting the running back as his primary throw. And same thing right here. You see Danny Lanzana was in primary coverage there. Gets picked by Marcus Colston. And you get C.J. Spiller on the edge and a big first down.
A gain of 19, so he's already taken a breather. Mark Ingram comes back out already now at the Bucs 40-yard line.
Double, ready. You ready? Listen.
And the Bucs leap across the line. 12 penalties last week against this team, Tampa Bay. Most were on offense.
Encroachment. Defense number 98 made contact with an offensive player. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on Clinton McDonald. Carl Cheffers, our referee.
This team was one of the most penalized in football last year. And they have some aggressive guys up front. Obviously, Gerald McCoy has one of the best get-offs in football. That's why he's a dominant 3 technique. But in this dome, you know, crowd goes quiet when Drew Brees is playing quarterback. Got to be ready for the hard count.
2 tight ends in. Brees open and could not hang on. Austin Johnson was inside the 20 with an easy catch that he couldn't hold. He's the fullback on a team that rotates Ingram and Kyrie Robinson and now C.J. Spiller in the backfield.
He really put a good ball there on Johnson. He's just another one of these young guys having to assume a role in this offense after they've remade this roster, really, Chris. You know, they get rid of Jimmy Graham, they get rid of Kenny Stills, and you have all these young guys having to assume roles that Drew Brees is used to trusting those old guys with.
There's Spiller. He's brought down right at the 35.
Now it's going to continue. There's still an adjustment period going on with Drew Brees and some of these young players on that side of the ball.
C.J. Spiller, 9 games last year before the broken collarbone. It's from Lake Butler, Florida, the former Buffalo Bill, and they were about to sign Reggie Bush. And Reggie hesitated, the former Saint. Sean Payton was going to bring him back, and then Spiller became available. He said, we have to spend more money, but let's get him. And Sean Payton did.
That's an interesting story. We get to tell that later.
4 wide receivers on 3rd and 5, and he overthrows Willie Snead. Drive stalls. They overcame an early 3rd and long to advance the drive, but now in that territory where Morstead will have to punt the ball if they're going to play the field position game. Well, they only need to get to the 30. Morstead standing inside the 50. Bobby Rainey is back there and lets it go, and Morgan on top of it to down it inside the 5. Caught it on the fly. Jameis Winston on the road. His 2nd NFL game. Scoreless.
Game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Okay. Already wrapping the knee of C.J. Spiller after a run and a catch from the 4-yard line. 2 tight ends. Winston hands to Doug Martin, and he's shoved backwards. Jameis Winston in his 2nd NFL game. In fact, since he started college run, they had played in the NFL, he's only lost 2 games, and both have been to Marcus Mariota.
How about that? You know, the kid's got some resiliency about him. We saw it last week in that game. They were down big, and he was alive and fiery on the sideline. He thought they had a chance to come back, but obviously it was just too much of a deficit.
Martin shoved back again as he tried to get up to the 9. Now it'll bring up 3rd down and long, backed up inside the Buccaneer 10. And Rondé mentioned Mike Evans, who is playing his first game this season after 12 touchdown catches as a rookie. And the offensive line, Marpet and Smith, 2 second-round draft picks, rookies starting up front. Evans looking here on 3rd and 5. Winston with time, flags fly, and the catch made. Austin Safarian Jenkins landed at the 30 and got up and ran.
That was a great throw and catch right there by two young players.
Prior to the pass, illegal use of hands, hands to the face, defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play, first down.
Definitely a great throw, great catch, but Dirk Cutter decides to come out in regular formation, a fullback and a tight end, and Jameis finds his big target from last week, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. This is a good throw. In the pocket, you see his hips unwind and deliver a strike there to his tight end.
A 21-yard gain up to the 30-yard line. Seferian-Jenkins had a couple of touchdown catches last week. Doug Martin. There's a hole there, and there goes Martin. Doug Martin all the way up to midfield before he's run out of bounds.
Well, Chris,
Brandon Browner had to make the stop.
Chris, you and I had Doug Martin and his Bucs team in the preseason, and this is all we saw. Some great blocking up front by the tight end right there. Creates a seam for Doug Martin, and this is what he did in 2012. And like I said, we saw it all preseason. I think he's back. I can't wait to see how much they decide to feature him in this game, because I think he has to be a big part if they're going to win today on the road.
He's only 5'9" and a lot leaner this year in a contract year. After a 20-yard run from midfield, Martin again. And let's check the Saints defense. They're hoping for more of a pass rush than they had last week, and they'll rotate the defensive lineman in and out. Donnell Ellerby should be able to go next week. David Hawthorne slides in the linebacker spot for him, and the secondary continues to deal with injury. Raphael Bush was hurt. Bird is still out. Keenan Lewis is still out. And Rob Ryan will be dialing up some creative plays for the rookie. On 2nd and 9, Winston has room to run, and he will slip out of bounds around the 46-yard line of New Orleans.
Good decision there by Jameis. You know, not every throw is created equal, right? Sometimes it's not there, and the Saints actually did a great job covering up on the back end there. Seen at times, Jameis has a tendency to want to force balls into tight windows. I think he did a great job there, deciding hold it, take a run, and get positive yards. Set up a manageable third down here.
3rd down and 7. 6 defensive backs for New Orleans. Winston's throw towards Vincent Jackson, but the coverage was good. Again, it's Brandon Browner. One of the benefits, along with Max Unger and Stephon Anthony, in the trading away of Jimmy Graham.
Well, Brandon Browner came to this team and he instantly provided a physical presence at that position. I mean, they stand next to him. I can't believe he played the same position that I play in the NFL. But he'll be matched up against either Vincent Jackson or Mike Evans all day long in these third down situations, and he got the better of him on that play.
Jacob Shum standing inside the 39 of Tampa Bay. A high kick. Murphy waving for the fair catch and fumbles it, but gets back to the football. Or it would have been costly for the Saints around the 6-yard line. Another drive stalls. Each offense has moved the football, but still scoreless. Saints and Bucs in New Orleans.
This game is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Quick snap and handoff to Mark Ingram, who fights up across the 12-yard line. A healthy gain on 1st down with the Saints backed up toward their own end zone. 2nd possession for New Orleans.
You know, you talked about C.J. Spiller, and we saw his contributions early in this game. Mark Ingram and Kyrie Robinson are the runners in this offense. C.J. Spiller is the specialty guy. He'll come in, play the role that Reggie Bush played in this offense. These other two guys are the runners.
Breeze on 2nd down with plenty of time. Fakes, fires, and bounces. Here comes a flag. Pass is incomplete, but the flag in the area of the secondary.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 28 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That penalty is on Tim Jennings, one of 3 ex-Bears in the secondary, although Major Wright is inactive today.
Tim Jennings over there on top of your screen here on Brandon Cooks. And Tim Jennings is playing in this game because he has the quickness and the speed to keep up with Brandon Cooks. You know, Jonathan Banks doesn't necessarily have that, so he'll get some reps today.
C.J. Spiller back in the game, runs straight ahead. Let's hit it. Let's check in down on the field with Jennifer Hale.
Well, Chris, folks might have seen C.J. Spiller getting wrapped and be a little bit concerned about him. I am told there's no injury to C.J. Spiller. It's precautionary, and the plan throughout this game is to keep alternating hot and cold on that knee to keep him going, Chris.
All right, thank you. And as Ronnie was saying, Mark Ingram, Kyrie Robinson hope to get the ground game going, but 5 wide receivers now on 2nd and 10. Complete to Cooks, who's brought down right away. Looks like the ball might have gotten loose on the back end of that, but Cooks stayed with it. Levante David, coming off kind of a shaky performance in the opener for the Bucs, was in on the tackle.
You know, Sean Payton told us in his production meeting that he had some of these sets, these 5 wide receiver sets that he was going to use today, and really it's a problem matchup wise for Tampa. You probably see when they get those kind of sets out here, Chris, they'll check into a zone because there's not enough bodies, not enough good bodies on this Bucs defense to match up with all 5 of those wideouts.
Sean Payton calling the offensive plays. Lovie Smith calling the defensive plays, and pressure in as the ball is incomplete. Breeze lucky to get that away. And let's see what the ruling is. They're going to call that a fumble and a recovery. It's a good thing Breeze stayed with it.
Well, we're going to have to see if this ball comes out with an open hand on this pressure.
4th down.
There was no whistle to stop play here, and you'll see Jack Smith coming around the corner here, and if Drew Brees' hand is open when he throws, that is a fumble. And nobody on the Bucs team reacted to this except for Chris Conte. You see him there in the back of your screen. He knew it was a fumble. Drew Brees realized it was a fumble, and he went to go pick it up. That could have been a huge play for Tampa Bay.
Correctly called a fumble. Morstead out of his own end zone, and the kick goes out of bounds, or bounces, I should say, near the sideline where Rainey grabs it, and he goes out of bounds inside the 40. It was an alert play by Breeze because even though his arm was going forward, as you saw in the replay, Ron, the ball was not in his arm at that point. And the pressure of the Bucs defense forces the punt.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. And by DraftKings. Free 1-week fantasy football at DraftKings.com.
Buccaneers with great field position take over after the fumble that Breeze was on the poor punt. Doug Martin. Here comes a flag as he fights for 2 or 3 yards. Carl Jeffers, our referee, busy in this first quarter.
Holding. Number 76 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
Another offensive penalty. There were 10 last week on the Bucs. This one pushing them back.
Go back to this fumble again, and you see Jack Smith on this edge. Now, the important thing to note is that Drew Brees, when his hand comes forward, I think everybody on the field, except for Drew Brees and Chris Conte, thought that was an incomplete pass. But they both reacted, and it wasn't a turnover by Tampa, but it was a big play by this defense, exactly what they needed early in this game.
And this Bucs offense already 3 penalties. On 1st down, Doug Martin getting the workout, fighting hard. Gets it back all the way to the 40-yard line. Last week he had 52 yards on 11 carries. One of the few bright spots for this team in that blowout loss to Tennessee.
Well, it's been well documented how much Doug Martin has changed his body and rededicated himself to this football team when he did pick up his option in the offseason. But how about that effort by Doug Martin? You said it early in the game. He's not a big guy, but the way he's been running early in this football season, you have to be encouraged if you're a Buccaneer fan.
He gained 10. Charles Sims, second-year running back. Checks in the backfield, splits as a receiver. Ball is tipped in the air, but caught by Sims. who stayed with it. It'll be a modest gain and bring up a third down. They need to get down to the 30.
Well, Jameis Winston threw an interception just like this last week against Tennessee. These little screens, it's somewhat of a casual delivery, but good job by Bali there, jumping up and tipping that football, and really a heads-up play by Charles Sims to come back and catch this thing before any Saints defender had a chance to make a play on the ball.
The screen to Sims on third down, and here comes a flag as he gets a first down. Excellent play call.
Well, he took a play out of Sean Payton's playbook last week. Arizona, who likes to pressure a lot, just let the blitz go by. You're running a screen behind it. You dump it over their head, and you're able to pick up a first down. There was 13 completions by backs last week by the Saints, and it's exactly what the Bucs were trying to do there.
After the catch, holding, number 87 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
The call on Austin Seferian-Jenkins, the tight end.
Playing man-to-man coverage here, and it's really, this thing could have gone both ways. He grabbed him trying to block him. Vaccaro gets his hands outside the frame and throws Seferian-Jenkins down. So, I think I would have liked to seen that one go uncalled. But as it stands, it's 3rd and 6 again for the Buccaneers.
They enforce from the spot of the foul. Third down. Need to get down to the 30. Bobby Rainey, the running back. Winston gets away, runs into another Saint, and eventually goes down. Bali was in on it again.
Well, the Saints are looking for a pass rush, and the Bucs do them a favor here. They only have 2 wide receivers on the field. You see 2 backs in the backfield, both backs right here in to protect. But the Saints bring more than they can block, and Jameis Winston does his best to avoid this. But he's not mobile enough, and the Saints get a sack.
And he should have been a little bit more alert to take a field goal opportunity under consideration. They're going to try with Kyle Brinza, who did not attempt one in the opener against Tennessee. This will be 54 yards with a timeout called by New Orleans. The drive stalls, but the Bucs have a chance to get on the board first if their kicker can deliver. Bucs rookie kicker from Notre Dame, Kyle Brinza, in the pregame warm-ups was good from 60. This, where they spotted, will be a 55-yard try for his first NFL field goal. It has the distance, and it's through. Kyle Brinza, picked up late in the preseason from the Lions, comes through to give Winston and the Bucs the lead. Saints fans are hopeful, optimistic, whatever it takes to get a home win. 5 straight losses in this dome through last year. Shocking. Meanwhile, Lovie Smith's team went toe-to-toe with them last year, but the Saints have won 7 straight against Tampa Bay in the series, but they lead here on the leg of Kyle Brinza. 3 out of 4. Touchback so far at his first field goal in the NFL. Murphy back in the end zone if he has a chance, and he won't. That one carried through the back of the end zone. Saints will take over on the 20-yard line. Colin Cowherd now on FS1. The Herd, weekdays, noon Eastern on FS1. Well, Drew Brees said he wanted to start fast, especially at home, get the crowd into it, energize the defense when they're out there, and he moved the ball, had a drop and an overthrow, and the offense is stalled. Now they're behind.
There was a time, Chris, and I played against them many times, where they'd bring people into this dome, take them into deep water, and drown them. That just hasn't been the case for the Saints of late. And whether it's slow starts, poor defense, they have to figure it out.
Check! Kill! Kill! 158, ready! You ready, my son?
Mark Ingram goes nowhere. Let's get a game break. Check in with Mike Hill. Mike?
How about another NFC South team? The Falcons looked good against the Eagles last week. Looking good against another NFC East team, the Giants. Tevin Coleman, his first career touchdown. 7-0 Falcons, 13 plays, 86-yard drive there, guys.
And, of course, both teams interested in that with the division in the NFC South. Atlanta starting with a victory. Breeze for Ingram. Runs into traffic, and it'll bring up third down. Levante David on the stop. That'll bring an end to the opening quarter. The Saints with a 3-0 lead over the Bucs with a 3-0 lead over the hometown Saints. Along with Rondé Barber, Chris Myers and crew, glad you're watching from New Orleans, where the Buccaneers stunning the home team here. And facing a 3rd down and 4. Tyree Robinson splits out as a receiver. Now moves back to the other side for Breeze. That's a first down catch. Spinning is Willie Snead, who expected to see the football a little more today. One of those free agent receivers off the practice squad, like Brandon Coleman. The first quarter numbers, the Buccaneers good against the run, a little bit different than the opener.
Absolutely it is. And they've been stout up front in the middle. Obviously, Gerald McCoy in there. Clinton McDonald has had a great preseason. He's had a great start to this game, too, stopping the run inside.
Mark Ingram straight ahead, maybe a couple.
And again, it's the play of the Buccaneers linebackers that have also contributed to this fast start, running, defending the run. Last week, Levante David, who I think is one of the great young linebackers in football, had probably the worst game that I've ever seen. You see him getting eaten up there by Zach Strief again, but Quan Alexander was a rookie, had his rookie mistakes. Danny Lansana didn't affect the game like he has in years past, but today they seem a lot more sound.
Comes a flag.
False start. Number 35 offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Austin Johnson, who had a drop earlier, called for the penalty. It'll back up the Saints. Quiet
for
this building.
It feels real quiet in here. Need a big play here by the Saints offense to get them riled up again.
Breeze in the pocket, pressure again and incomplete. This one looked like it was going forward. Let's see how they rule it. Austin Johnson got to it. Is that a fumble or not?
It is a fumble recovered by the offense. 3rd down.
Well, there's questions about the Bucs' ability to get pressure, similar to the Saints' ability. But you see Gerald McCoy, I mean, get him in one-on-one matchups. He beats people. But Jack Smith, again, off the edge around Zach Strief, affects the pass here by Drew Brees, and it's his 2nd sack fumble of the day. Again, hand was open. There was no ball in his hand when his continuation of his throwing motion, so that is a fumble.
So Brees is 6 out of 8, has 2 fumbles. The Saints have recovered both because of the pressure. On 3rd down, and here comes another flag.
They're just out of sorts, Chris. I know there's a lot going on with change on this offense with some of the receivers. They had a slow start last week in Arizona, and it's another slow start for this Saints offense.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that's a penalty you would never expect from a Drew Brees-led offense. I mean, he runs it. We were at practice watching him the other day. He runs into the huddle. Guys are sitting at the ready, on edge to get to the line of scrimmage, led by Max Unger, the new center, to get a delay of game. Again, just uncharacteristics of these New Orleans teams.
Need to go all the way to the 44 for a 1st down. Breeze gets away, throws underneath low, and it bounces incomplete. George Johnson putting the pressure on.
Well, Drew Brees is getting beat up here today so far. George Johnson, the free agent, or actually they ended up trading for him. He wasn't a free agent. They ended up trading for him in the offseason from Detroit. Brings the pressure there, but we've seen Jack Smith get there. We've seen the rush inside hit Drew Brees, and this offense really is going nowhere right now, Chris. It's uncharacteristic again. Sean Payton's on the sideline probably shaking his head, wondering what's going on here with his quarterback in this offense.
Morstead drives Bobby Rainey back inside the 20. And Rainey with a return up across the 35. Jameis Winston of the Bucs will take over, leading 3-0 after the Tampa Bay defense has frustrated Drew Brees.
Today's game is sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company and the entirely new Lincoln MKX, and by Samsung, introducing the new Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus and the new Galaxy Note 5.
21-year-old Jameis Winston said it took until late Tuesday night to get the opening day loss out of his head. On the road with an early lead in New Orleans, and his coach Lovie Smith said, "We didn't baby him, he can handle it." From the 35, Doug Martin, he's been the workhorse and gets up near the 40.
I think there was a feeling really in that Bucs locker room of, utter disappointment, obviously, because you spend the entire offseason and preseason getting ready for your opener, and then to really just come lay an egg on either side of the ball is disappointing. But they were accountable, and I think it's showing a little bit here today in their energy in this road away game.
They've quieted the crowd so they can go without a huddle here. As Martin is dancing around, it'll bring up third down. Yeah, they used words like not only disappointed, embarrassed. That's the Buccaneers talking after the 42-14 loss to Tennessee at home. And here they go again without the huddle on a 3rd and 3. Winston to throw and dropped. A little behind, but should have been caught by Louis Murphy, who is still on the turf.
Well, this was a clean hit, but it was a tough one. I think he knew that this shot was coming. He even got himself into a protective kind of position, but he got ran through. The wind has got to be knocked out of him right now.
Kenny Phillips just re-signed. He was with the team in preseason on the hit. We will check on the status of Louis Murphy. Louis Murphy was able to get up and walk over to the sideline with some assistance. There's Marcus Murphy back to receive the punt after the incomplete pass. Jacob Shum on 4th down, lining up from inside the Tampa Bay 30. Kick that bounces. Here comes a flag in the middle as the Bucs are quick to down it inside the 20. 4 penalties accepted on Tampa Bay today already. 3 on the Saints.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 30, 10-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
That call on Don Jones of the Saints will back them up. But let's check the hit that Phillips put on Louis Murphy.
Yeah, this is a clean hit, but I want you to watch Louis Murphy and the intimidation factor in football. Watch him clap his hands here. He knew he's beating Brandon Browner, but he feels Kenny Phillips coming into the screen there, knows he's going to get drilled, and he doesn't make that catch. Good clean hit by Kenny Phillips, and good thing that Louis Murphy is all right. I tell you, Chris, when you get that sternum area right above your stomach, when you get shots there, it feels like the end of the world. And obviously he's okay now. He's on the sideline. He'll be back in this game when they get back on offense.
And the Saints are wondering if this is the same Buccaneer team they watched last week against Tennessee. Brees on 1st down, comes out firing and completes short of the 1st down. Brandon Cooks on the receiving end.
Well, it looks like the matchup today for the Buccaneers is going to be Tim Jennings on Brandon Cooks. The 3rd time we've seen them in primarily man coverage on them, and that's really uncharacteristics of the Bucs. We know they play a lot of cover 2. There's some familiarity with this offense and this defense. But Lovie Smith changing it up a little bit, playing some more single high safety defense.
Mark Ingram in as Cooks picks up 9. Ingram the carry and gets the 1st down up near the 25-yard line. Brees is 7 out of 10, but the Tampa Bay defense, they intercepted him 3 times in each of the games last year, even though they won those games, and they've harassed him all afternoon.
Well, like I said, familiarity breeds understanding, and these teams know each other better than anybody. He had the late snap. We saw the overthrow on the pass earlier. And then just this defensive front of the Buccaneers has been getting after Drew all day. Jack Smith earlier in the game, another pressure there. They're much better than they were last week against Tennessee.
Throws to Josh Hill as tight end. The Bucs are right there for a minimal gain. Tim Jennings on the tackle.
You know, the genius of Lovie Smith's defense, and I'm biased towards it because I played in it. I understand how this defense works. It's simple. You get guys in position, and when they know what to do, you just go play fast and you hit people. And we're seeing a much better version of that today than everybody saw last week against Tennessee.
His second year as head coach, but calling the defensive signals this year as Ingram gets up near the 30 and is brought down by Quan Alexander from LSU, drafted in the 4th round. You just head up the I-10, you go west, and his college in Baton Rouge, and he takes in the defensive signals, called the signals, beat out Bruce Carter in training camp to be the starter.
He's a dynamic player. His preseason tape was phenomenal. His practice tape in preseason was phenomenal. He deserved to be starting in the middle. He's going to be a good player on this defense.
Saints faced with a 3rd down and 4. Kyrie Robinson is in at running back. Breeze under pressure again. It goes down. The Bucs with the sack at the 19. Gerald McCoy and Henry Melton teaming up to punish Breeze.
Well, the guy on this defense who you expect to dominate up front is this guy right here, Gerald McCoy, the 3-time Pro Bowler, and Tim Lelito is a new starter there on that defensive front. He has absolutely no answer for that speed and power of Gerald McCoy, and he gets his 2nd sack of the year with an assist from Henry Melton.
Morstead, Bobby Rainey has it, moves up across the 45 and shoved back at the 47-yard line. The Bucs winning on the scoreboard, and in the field position game, they lead 3-0 and take over on offense.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football.
Down in the trenches for the Saints, 4 possessions and 4 punts. And the Buccaneer defense with 3 sacks and 2 fumbles already in this game. They take over with Charles Sims in the backfield from the 46. Sims gets into New Orleans Saints territory. Ends up getting a lot out of that all the way to the 46 of the Saints.
Watch Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He's right here on the line of scrimmage, and Charles Sims gets this football, but watch him block Hal Kakaha through this play, who's making this tackle and just throws him around and allows 4 or 5 more yards on that run.
A gain of 7. Sims again. Cut down right away by Cameron Jordan. It'll be 3rd down.
You know, so far in this game, Chris, we've seen a lot of 2 tight end sets, a lot of 1 tight end, 2 running back sets. Even on 3rd down, I think Dirk Cutter is reluctant to get into 3 wide receiver sets because you got a rookie quarterback. Rob Ryan's on the other sideline. He's staring at this guy saying, if we can fluster him, get pressure in his face, we can affect him. And I think it's a really smart job by this Bucs offensive coordinator to keep it simple for him.
Winston on 3rd and 2 is going to try and dive for the 1st down. Aoi Kikaha, the rookie from Washington, born in Hawaii, was over there, but Winston made the lunge. Let's see. You see the ball and that kind of a superimposed marking for the 1st down.
Getting a little hold out there on the end, but yeah, Jameis, you know, he has some disregard for his body. We've seen that with him already early in his career, and I think he got enough for this 1st down. I was getting ready to make a point, Chris. 2 plays or 3 plays in a row, that sequence, and we both nailed Kakaha's name. That is one of the more difficult ones.
And he wanted to nail Winston before he got to the 1st down marker. Jameis, who doesn't like to run a lot, kind of gave me a look in our meeting when I asked him about that. Looks like Sean Payton has the red challenge flag out because he thinks Winston may have gone out of bounds. He's waiting for his communication upstairs And if they snap this, it'll be history. And it is. On first down, Winston. Wide open. Catch made down at the 10-yard line by Safarian Jenkins. And there's a flag down. Did he hold on? He dropped the ball. He didn't hold on to the ball.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 39 defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Bucs get a break on the Brandon Browner penalty.
Well, this is a great play design. You know, Brandon Browner gets the hold. He really could have got hands to the face there. But you kind of saw Austin Safarian Jenkins sneaking through the back of that play. And when you're on the road, it's nice. You see him again. He's right here, sneaking down the line of scrimmage and just fall out the back end. And this was a great play, but wasn't able to connect. He should have caught that ball, though.
Yeah, and an underthrown ball a bit by Winston. But it works out for Tampa Bay. Handoff Martin. And cut down. Here comes a flag. He is knocked back by Stephon Anthony, the rookie middle linebacker.
I like Stephon Anthony. He is a great guy to be around, and he hits like a Mack truck.
Number 87 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That holding penalty on Safarian Jenkins.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a great look on it. Ball's floating to him. Yeah, you see it pop out there at the bottom of the plate. You know the new rules.
He was so wide open, though.
You know, the new rules, I mean, that looks like a catch, just like some of the other controversial ones through the years. But if you don't control that ball through the completion of the catch, it's going to be incomplete. They made the right call there.
After all that, the penalty backs him up. Winston to throw if he can, and he does. To Bobby Rainey, slips a tackle. And Browner tries to corral him. He's still fighting around the 41-yard line. Kenny Phillips in on the tackle. And when you talk about what's a catch and what's not a catch, a lot at stake in this playoff game with Des Bryant, the Cowboys in Green Bay. That looked like a catch and a touchdown. It was ruled and backed up by the league as a no catch.
Well, they clarified it to show that they were wrong again, I think. That is a catch in every sense of the word. That
this one is not.
This one is not, especially by the new definition, the new emphasis of the rule. You have to possess it all the way through the ground and through the completion.
Second down 12. Charles Sims working his way in the middle. Stopped at the 34-yard line of New Orleans by Kenny Phillips, who's been busy for a guy who's been out of football for a while.
This Bucs offensive line, you know, last week there was nobody graded positively. Ali Marpet, the rookie sitting right there, was the only one that graded positively. But so far today, especially on that left side of the line, Donovan Smith, the veteran Logan Mankins have been dominating the Saints up front. That's why you're seeing so much production from this run game.
Pressure on Winston. He gets rid of it in the middle of the field. Incomplete. Damian Swan came on the corner blitz, forcing Winston to just unload it.
Well, there you go. Rob Ryan getting into a third down situation. It's the first time, maybe the second time this game where we've seen them have 3 wide receivers on the field, and it just gives them a chance to dial up a blitz and get after the rookie quarterback and force him into a bad throw.
So Kyle Brinza, who we said played at Notre Dame, he was born with a club foot, had to endure multiple surgeries in elementary school, became a star for the Fighting Irish, and kicks this one with plenty of distance, but off the mark. He had made from 55 earlier, missed from 52. Rob Ryan's defense keeps it a 3. Week 2 continues later today on Fox, and for some of you on CBS, and then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. And if you're watching on our Tampa affiliate, Fox 13, WTVT, or WVUE Fox 8 here in New Orleans, Michael Schaefer, the news director, glad to have you watching. Breeze nearly intercepted. He was trying to get to Brandon Coleman. And Levante David almost had a takeaway for Lovie Smith.
Yeah, Drew Brees is struggling a little bit today, finding open receivers. And this is really just a good job by Levante David. Watch him right here. He's the weak side linebacker, so he's away from the strength of this formation. He's reading Drew Brees the entire way. It goes all the way across the field to the other hash, and really should have intercepted this. Levante David is a playmaker on this team. I think he's going to slap himself if he didn't catch that interception.
You ready? What's that?
Mark Ingram gets the carry.
So if you're wondering what's going on with the Saints today on offense, Chris, they're just off schedule. Saw the incomplete there on first down. They go to run the ball on second down. They get nothing. So now they're third and long, and the Bucs really have the option to go into the bank of Lovie Smith's mind and create a defense that can get after the Saints, and they've done it so far today.
Hundreds of plays on that call sheet for Sean Payton, though, to dial up on third down and 9. Brees has time and open. There's Colston. Marcus Colston with a first down. His first catch of the game down to the 37 of Tampa Bay.
And I was just thinking, this offense has a lot of new players, but the one reliable is Marcus Colston. He's been here for years doing this. He get just great technique at the top of his route. Shoves off Tim Jennings, and Drew Brees was staring him down the whole way. Knew that his big, reliable receiver was going to be there for him.
A gain of 21. Ingram back in at running back. Best threat this afternoon for this New Orleans offense. Ingram trying to find some room, and maybe he'll get a yard. Quan Alexander with the tackle. Let's get a game break. Check in with Mike Hill.
All right, guys, Bucs Saints remember D'Angelo Williams from his Carolina days. He's with Steelers now, and he's in the end zone against the Niners. 2-yard run. Steelers go for 2 again and get it. 16-3 Pittsburgh in the second. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mike. And in the NFC South, the Falcons are leading the Giants 10-3 in the second quarter. Carolina's up on Houston at home 7-3. And here, the Bucs 3-0 over Brees and the Saints. Colston again. Marcus Colston down to the 10.
Hey, well, let me show you something here, because Marcus Colston is open here in this route, but watch the underneath defense. You can't see it here, but the underneath defense was so locked in on Brandon Cooks that Marcus Colston was wide open, and they got another big gainer.
A gain of 24. Saints with a couple of timeouts. At the 2-minute warning, they trail the Bucs, but they are threatening. Get apps, videos, and more at itunes.com/NFL. From the 11, this is where they used to go to Jimmy Graham. Struggled in the red zone last week against Arizona. 2 tight ends. Mark Ingram would carry and goes nowhere.
They're trying to run the ball against this Bucs defense today, and they are been misguided by that film last week. This Bucs defense, especially up front, is just dominating this Saints offensive line.
So you have Ben Watson, Josh Hill. So Hill and the fullback are coming out, Austin Johnson.
And Marcus Colston is in the game right now. It'll be interesting to see if they try to create a mismatch with him. When he lines up inside where he is now, over the years, that has been his big target.
Ingram carries, and Mark Ingram, touchdown Saints!
All that being said, Chris, you could talk about receiving threats in the red zone, but good teams, and Sean Payton wants to be a good one. Watch Watson right here with this block. Good teams run the ball in the red zone. They get a good block on the end on Jack Smith, and DJ Swearinger has nothing for Mark Ingram there as he scoots past him for the touchdown.
Mark Ingram, who was a receiver last week against Arizona, 9 touchdowns last year, rushes this one in to give the Saints the lead. And the 33-yard extra point, Zach Hocker, who was so good kicking field goals for Sean Payton in the opener, has New Orleans out in front 7-3 as we near the half. Tense moments for Saints fans until they reach the end zone. Now they look good. It's 7-3. Mark Ingram with a touchdown run.
You know what, Chris, this Saints offense, when Jimmy Graham was here, you mentioned him, 40 of his 57 touchdowns were red zone touchdowns. So you trade away Jimmy Graham, you obviously have to change the makeup of your offense, especially in the red zone. So I think you're going to see a different Saints team this year. There won't be those jump balls and whatnot down here. They'll find more creative ways to use all of the talent on this roster.
Bobby Rainey from a yard deep on the return for the Bucs. Rainey still chugging along, brought down at the 36, 37-yard line. So the Bucs defense was stopping the run, and all of a sudden in the red zone, the Saints were able to punch it in.
Well, you see DJ Swearinger come down in the box here, so they're in single high, but they're in man-to-man. Look at that matchup right now. He probably had a run pass check. He checked it to the run, and with the great block up front, they know they have a hat on a hat, and they are able to sneak into the end zone for a touchdown. The Bucs defense was playing so well against the run, but when you spread them out, you give guys an opportunity, create running lanes, and the Saints did that and got a touchdown.
And that's Ori Lemon on special teams, being helped up off the field. Let's see also, remember Louis Murphy left earlier injured. We'll see if he's able to come back for Tampa Bay. The Bucs have all 3 of their timeouts from their own 37-yard line. Jen Hale, what's going on with Louis Murphy?
Well, Chris, the good news for Bucs fans is that Murphy really just had the wind knocked out of him. The Bucs say he's just fine, and you can expect to see him later on in this game, Chris.
All right, thank you. The leading receiver, Charles Sims, so far for Tampa Bay. Cooks for the Saints. Winston floats one. Evans. He was out of bounds. Mike Evans' first game after battling a hamstring for the last month. But an outstanding rookie season, and with his 6'5" frame and Safarian Jenkins, you can see how close this is.
Well, he was by Delvin Breaux by a long ways, and he just, look at that, just a little nonchalant about that left foot, trying to get it in bounds. Well, and they might want to take a closer look at that. If his left foot was on the ground when he caught that,
it'd be a booth review if they wanted to take a closer look.
No red challenge flag.
Saints drop off in the coverage here, and here comes a flag. Looked like the Bucs.
False start, number 75 offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Donovan Smith called again. That's now 6 penalties.
Yeah, these pre-snap penalties kill you. They had so many of them again last year, and earlier, or week 1, they had them again. Just get yourself so far off schedule. It's tough. It's difficult.
Winston 4 out of 8 through the air. He's run a couple of times for a first down. The screen is set up. And Charles Sims, what a tackle by Stephon Anthony. Quick timeout by the Saints. They'll have 1 remaining in the half.
And this kid is a special player now. Rookie, starting in only his 2nd game out of Clemson, runs through the block of Evan Smith, and man, you meet with him, he's impressive. You watch him on the field, he's impressive. He's replacing a long-term vet that wore the same number here at the Saints.
He came in the trade. They used the draft pick with Jimmy Graham from Seattle to draft him. Of course, they got Max Unger, the Pro Bowl center, and then they also used money to sign Brandon Browner and still have cap space. So 3 for 1. They used a large, maybe their best asset other than Drew Brees. The Saints did, trading away Graham to improve the team. That was part of the philosophy anyway. On 3rd and 16. Winston, pass is caught and up near the first down. Vincent Jackson, that 6'5" frame, fell forward.
Wow, you talk about the inexperience in the Saints secondary. It showed right there. 3rd and 16.
Bucs use a timeout.
Yeah, you cannot let that pass be completed. If they get them off the field right there at 3rd down, you're punting back to Drew Brees, who we know how good he is at 2-minute offenses.
Rodney, we'll come back to that thought. Check in with Kurt Menefee.
I'm Kurt Menefee here on the red carpet where we're getting ready for the 67th Primetime Emmys later on tonight on Fox. All the stars will be out here in just a bit, including our guys, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. We will get you all caught up on all 10 games going on in the early window here in the NFL. That's on the Visa halftime.
Checking you out from the Microsoft Theater there in Southern California. Jameis Winston with a big throw against Rob Ryan's secondary, as Rodney was talking about.
I think if you're the Saints, you would have loved to have the football back there with Drew Brees and a chance to move your team down the field and get some more points before the half.
Winston will keep it. Now the Bucs still have 2 timeouts, but the clock's running here.
He missed an opportunity to hit Mike Evans on the sideline here. You know, Jameis has a tendency to want to throw some tough completions, I should say, but look at this. He's sitting wide open on the sideline. He just couldn't find him.
Quick pass, and he had to get rid of it. There's a flag down in the backfield where Winston went down. And incomplete for Evans. Kenny Vaccaro from the
foul, roughing the passer. Number 32 defense for low contact on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
A lot of boos in here. Don't agree with this, but quarterback is protected in the pocket from hits below the knee area, and that's exactly what Kenny Vaccaro did. So you take a look at this. Pressure was good. He forced Winston to throw a bad pass here, but could not hit a quarterback down there any longer.
Well, it looked like he wrapped him up. I don't think he was going for his knees, even accidentally. Anyway, the penalty sets up the Bucs. They're already in field goal range from the 37 of New Orleans.
False start. Number 70 offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's on the veteran Logan Mankins, the former Patriot and Pro Bowler. Now 7 Buccaneer penalties.
Yeah, again, this is just, it's unacceptable. I know it's loud in here. This dome is very difficult to play in for offenses, but you've been working on this hard count, snap stuff, silent count all off season. It's just inexcusable.
Winston's pass right on target to Lewis Murphy. He catches it, gets up, and goes down to the 15-yard line, and a quick timeout by Tampa Bay. They'll have 1 remaining.
Talk about the good with Jameis Winston. Rob Ryan dials up another blitz here on the rookie, and he stands in there. He's decisive in the pocket and delivers a great ball to Lewis Murphy. But actually, if it would have been up, this may have been a touchdown. But again, under pressure, Jameis has looked good today so far, Chris.
He has 7 of 11 so far, has not turned the ball over.
Well, you could just gradually see him getting more comfortable. I mean, his teammates laud him about how resilient he is, and coaches talk about that's one of his biggest assets. And we're seeing it a little bit here, especially on this last drive.
After a gain of 23 on that completion, 1 timeout, 16 seconds. Winston, end zone, catch, yes, no, yes, touchdown, Vincent Jackson for the Bucs.
Any of y'all doubters on Jameis Winston, just watch this throw. This is a special throw. We saw a lot of this in college, and Rob Ryan is upset at his young secondary.
Well, it was right where it had to be in the footwork of Vincent Jackson, who's, we mentioned, 6'5", also had to haul it in and keep his feet in, and the official waited to call it to make sure he was in.
You give Vincent Jackson this opportunity. He missed one last week, but watch the secondary. 2 guys converging on Vincent Jackson, and Jameis Winston with the talent and the vision, I guess, to see to put that ball over top of both of their heads, and Vincent Jackson with a great catch. Impressive drive there, Chris. 2-minute into the half.
Overcoming penalties that pushed his team back, and now Kyle Brinza on for the extra point, and it's through. Jameis Winston to the veteran Vincent Jackson of the Bucs with a shocking lead. 55th career touchdown catch for Vincent Jackson, and the Bucs will get the ball to start the second half. But that penalty, not to take anything away, but Sean Payton has to be wondering, that penalty on the call when Vaccaro went low, I mean, he wrapped him up. This just does not look like it. Rhonda, you know, we sit with our rules analyst, Mike Pereira, and Dean Blandino from the league. The defender's doing everything he can.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with the ref because he threw the flag. But as you look at that replay, it's hard to say that was forcible contact to the knee area. And I think they got kind of robbed there on that one.
But the Bucs were able to take advantage, and rookie Jameis Winston.
Yeah, look how decisive he is in the pocket. His footwork is great. His delivery is on time. And, man, nice touchdown by Jameis Winston in this offense. Go the length of the field. When you need points,
you go to him. And how about when they had that embarrassing loss in the locker room? Vincent Jackson maybe didn't talk much to the media, but he was standing on the inside, according to Lovie Smith, and greeted every player as they came in to tell them to hang in there. And it was only one game last week. Well, it has helped him this week. Heavy underdogs in New Orleans, and the Bucs have a halftime lead. 10-7 Tampa Bay at the break. Let's head back to Kurt Menefee and the crew out in Los Angeles. Buccaneers ready to receive the second half kickoff. The Saints home opener, and Tampa Bay leads on Jameis Winston's touchdown toss to Vincent Jackson. Today's excitement is brought to you by Nissan. Today's excitement, the fans excited to see the Saints and a touchdown from Ingram right before the half. Winston driving his team into the end zone and producing the 10-7 lead. With Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, our spot from here in the Superdome, and I think we'll get to the Bucs in a moment. Saints fans want to know what has happened to their team's offense.
Oh, well, they're getting pressured. Zach Strief is really struggling against Jack Johnson on the other side of the ball, and it's really distracting to this offense. They haven't been able to get a running game going. They've been dominated up front by Gerald McCoy and Clinton McDonald, and they're just struggling. They're struggling to get the ball down the field. We saw them emerge a little bit at the end of that game with Marcus Colston's 2 catches, but otherwise it's been a struggle on that side of the ball.
Yeah, and it set up the touchdown. I mean, Drew Brees being sacked, fumbles. Thankfully, the Saints, from their standpoint, recovered. So they're only down 3. Tampa Bay looks like a totally different team, and not just Jameis Winston, but the Tampa Bay defense compared to the opener last week against Tennessee. Tennessee, by the way, trailing Cleveland 21-0 at the half.
Wow, it's unbelievable, right? It's the week-to-week goings-on of the NFL. You just never know what you're going to get. You know, Lovie said it's one win, right? It's one game. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. You get your most improvement generally between week 1 and week 2, and that's been evident today, I think, with this Tampa Bay defense especially.
All right, let's talk about adjustments for the second half. If you're with the rookie quarterback and you have the lead, something he's not used to at the half of the game, what do you do when you come out here in the second half?
Well, I think you got to continue to be patient. Continue to try to get the ball to Doug Martin. I think that this offense will be tailored around him the entire year. He's been explosive at times. He's already got 44 yards on 6.3 yards per carry. That is where this foundation will be. You're on the road. You don't want to put it all on Jameis Winston. Let the other people around him help him out.
And as we look at the statistics from the first half, what does the Saints offense, led by Drew Brees, who has been kept out of the end zone so far, have to do to counter?
Well, again, I said Zach Johnson, or Jack Johnson. I meant Jack Smith.
Right, from the Buccaneers against Zach Smith.
They have to be able to block that edge. You know, they like to do some varying things on the offensive side of the ball. We've seen 5 receiver sets. We've seen them try to run the football. But just like last week, they're going to have to get them involved in the passing game, I think, Chris. They had 13 catches last week. I think we'll see some more of that in the second half of this game.
Meanwhile, the Saints defense has been unable really to force the rookie Jameis Winston into any mistakes. He has not turned the ball over. In fact, he's overcome 7 penalties on the Buccaneers. Not all of those on offense, but many of them.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been patient. He's been calm. He's gotten rid of the ball when he needs to on time, and that's the reason they have a lead.
Second half underway. Morstead driving it deep. Rainey waving everybody off. And so on the 20-yard line, here come the Buccaneers. Let's check in with Jennifer Hale.
Well, Chris, Lovie Smith very pleased with the way Jameis Winston is handling this hostile environment. But he very calmly told me, hey, it's what we expected out of Jameis week 1 to week 2. Better decision-making helped with a better run game. Meanwhile, Sean Payton and the Saints' run game not going so well, but Coach tells me they're not going to abandon the ground game. They did, however, have a serious halftime discussion about choosing the right runs, Chris.
Doug Martin, the back, from the 20-yard line.
Ready! Blue ready!
He gets the carry and a big hole for Doug Martin, who's got a first down across the 33-yard line. Two rookies in this offensive line, and they open it up for Doug Martin.
Yeah, big hole here through the middle. This is their favorite play. You get in fullback in the backfield, you get him up on the linebacker, and a nice block by Logan Makins. You saw that in the hole. It allows Doug Martin to get another explosive run on this Saints defense.
A gain of 14.
We're good. What do we got?
Martin again, straight ahead. Worth mentioning, Jameis Winston has the lead. His grandmother here, part of a contingent of fans that are backing the former Florida State Seminole and first overall draft pick.
I had a chance to talk to his parents down on the field too, and they're excited for his opportunity here. I think that a lot of people have been too critical on Jameis, and he is a rookie. You build in mistakes for rookies. Lovie Smith told us that. They can help him by continuing to run the ball like they've started this half doing.
Winston to throw. Vincent Jackson at the 40.
This guy looks completely different, doesn't he, week to week? Look at the anticipation on this throw. He knows Vincent Jackson is going to be affecting this ball across the field. He takes his time, throws the ball before he comes out of his break. And a nice play, nice big gain for the Buccaneers.
Vincent Jackson closing in on 500 career catches. 3 grabs today.
Ready. Blue way. What's up?
Winston fakes, has plenty of time, and is going deep for Louis Murphy. Here comes a flag. Brandon Browner was late getting there.
Brandon Browner cannot get greedy with his eyes here, and he did.
Pass interference, number 39 defense. That foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Wait till you see how wide open Louis Murphy gets here on the out and up. Brandon Browner has his eyes in the backfield and just misses Murphy go upfield. He just panics there at the end. It's really kind of a touch foul. I mean, the hand to the chest affected the completion, but it is a foul. Right call, and the Bucs are set up on the 1-yard line.
3 tight ends on first and goal.
Ready. Blue way. Blue's out.
Winston keeps, touchdown Tampa Bay. He was casual and calm and steps into the end zone.
Well, I don't think anybody in this building, us up here, were expecting a boot action to his weaker side there. The Saints certainly are off balance, caught off guard here, and they do actually do a good job covering it up. You see his primary receiver is Luke Stocker there coming out to the flat, but is covered up and showing some athletic ability there, Chris. Dinking the defensive tackle and running in for his first rushing touchdown of his career.
An 80-yard drive using almost 2 minutes working over Rob Ryan's defense as Brinza is on for the extra points. And it's now a 10-point Tampa Bay lead. Jameis Winston, the rookie, has his team on top of Breeze and the Saints.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. By Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by Burger King. Try our Oreo Red Velvet Shake. Now you can have your cake and drink it too.
Jameis Winston now has run for a touchdown and thrown for a touchdown in this game. After throwing a couple of touchdown passes in that opening day loss at Tennessee when the Bucs were down in a hurry in that game. Here they led early and now have a 10-point advantage. Marcus Murphy decides to come out and knocked down at the 17-yard line of the Saints. Keith Tandy on the special teams play, and Winston showing a little gratitude to his teammates after running that in.
Well, this is what they love about him, right? He's never really about him. It's always about his teammates You know, there was that story from training camp where he was the very first person to greet every rookie standing outside the door, and it's just been the same way in the building. He's an incorrigible guy, man. A lot of people love him around Tampa.
We'll see how the Saints and Drew Brees respond. On first down, Brees, and it's tipped away for Marcus Colston. Levante David, who's been active today, knocked it away.
Well, Levante David again, this is playing zone defense, gets drawn up a little bit. And Drew Brees, man, I've seen this be a huge completion for them. But Levante David, again, it's the second time we've seen him spin around in a zone coverage and affect the pass by Drew Brees.
Brees now 10 out of 15, 125 yards, sacked 3 times. Behind Brandon Coleman, it's going to be third down.
You know, there used to be a precision to this Saints offense. I mean, it was like lasers being thrown across the field. They had so many weapons. I mean, you can go through the years of all the receiving threats that they've had, but the turnover on this offense now, I think, is affecting the timing, the trust factor on this offense, and it's just not producing results today.
Well, Marcus Colston got him going right before the half, through the air, and then Ingram on the ground, facing a 3rd and 10. Brees underneath and fighting Willie Snead for the first down. Well, Snead, like Brandon Coleman, a practice squad player. Joseph Morgan is back. But yes, each year we mentioned Jimmy Graham. Before that, you go back when they had Lance Moore and Devery Henderson, different style. Marcus Colston has survived all that group as Morgan checks in with Colston. And Brees and Payton have been the constant. In fact, since 2006, Brees leads all quarterbacks in touchdowns and yardage. Mark Ingram hit hard. And the running game, other than that touchdown by Ingram, has been difficult for New Orleans.
Non-existent, really, and really just credit the Bucs defensive front. Obviously, the linebackers are playing much better than they did last week. It's just the scheme that they saw last week from Tennessee was unfamiliar for them. It was the Oregon RPO, the read pass option stuff that burnt them. But this Saints offense, they know it well, and they're prepared for it today.
Ready, my shot.
Brees is going deep for Cooks, underthrown and intercepted. Chris Conte has a Tampa Bay takeaway, and he hands the ball off. Alteron Werner is running with the football, and Werner gets all the way back inside the 50 on the Saints side of the field.
Just talking about the precision, Chris, that this offense used to work with, and it's just not showing itself today. Drew Brees drops back, has the receiver he wants, but underthrows it, and it's an interception and a takeaway for this Bucs defense.
Chris Conte, the interception, the handoff to Werner, and Brees frustrated, underthrown, but Sean Payton was arguing with the official that Cooks may have been interfered with. We'll take a closer look at a moment. Meanwhile, it is the Bucs' first defensive interception of this season as Doug Martin carries. Rhonda, you played the position defensive back here. The ball was in the air hanging for Cooks. Now there's Conte coming in, but Werner is all over Cooks here.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about Alteron Werner turning around and having the right to catch this ball as well, but he moved him off the spot. And I think Sean Payton actually has an argument here. And I'm somewhat biased towards defensive backs, but in my opinion, that did look like pass interference. But the bigger question, though, Chris, the ball was so underthrown. Brandon Cooks was wide open there for about 10 yards, but he threw it late. He didn't throw it with enough power and allow Chris Conte to come from the middle of the field and make that interception.
Let's bring in our rules analyst. You see him every Sunday watching all the games. Mike Pereira keeping an eye on things. Mike, your thoughts?
Well, I think I agree with Sean Payton here, because you're going to get clear contact before the ball is intercepted, you know, and to me, it is catchable. I mean, the contact knocks him away from the ball, so I think Sean Payton's got a really good point here. I think that's interference.
Hey, Mike, what about earlier the Kenny Phillips play around the feet of the quarterback? We raised that issue and the penalty called. Your thought on that one? I know you're watching a lot of things. Kenny Vaccaro.
You know, I agreed with you, Chris. Yeah, Kenny Vaccaro, the hit was low, but to me it's head up, wrap around the legs, and tackle. And you could make a case that really both feet were off the ground at the time. So, you know, I understand that you lean toward the side of safety, but to me that didn't meet the elements of a foul.
Thank you, Mike Pereira, our rules analyst. So a couple of calls, debatable, but both have gone against the Saints. Evan Smith, the center, injured, replaced by Joe Hawley for Tampa Bay. Handoff Martin, and Doug Martin is scrambling to get to the 44. Damian Swan over there from his corner position. It'll bring up a third down.
I tend to agree with what Mike Pereira was saying on that pass interference, but again, the bigger question, and Drew Brees, I mean, we saw him in practice the other day. He looks as good as I've ever seen him. Fit, lean, obviously the attitude is there, but that ball was woefully underthrown, Chris. I mean, that shouldn't have been an interception. It should have been a touchdown for the Saints.
5 defensive backs. Third down for Jameis Winston. Here comes a flag, and the pass is caught by Safarian Jenkins right around the first down marker.
Offside, number 44 defense. The result of the play is a first down. That penalty is declined. First down.
The matchup, though, Safarian Jenkins, they're taking the play. And that was good enough for a first down on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Safarian Jenkins, 6'5" or whatever and a half. Kenny Vaccaro talking to Dirk Cutter. They knew this was a good matchup for them. They split him out, got him one-on-one, and they won.
Sims races to the sideline. You talk about the height of the receivers. Safarian Jenkins is 6'5". So is Mike Evans, who is playing today. And, of course, Vincent Jackson, who has the touchdown catch. It's the tallest trio of receivers in the NFL currently.
Chris, I think you could throw the ball to these guys. 6'5", 6'5", 6'5". Safarian Jenkins even looks a little taller than those two other guys. So if you're a rookie quarterback, you're Jameis Winston. It's much like he had at Florida State with Kelvin Benjamin, his successful Heisman year. This is an asset.
Charles Sims on 2nd and 4. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle. There goes Sims. Poor tackling by the Saints. Good running by Sims, and it's a first down, Tampa Bay.
You said it, Chris. I know we're giving a lot of credit to the Bucs running the football today, but if there's I know they're keeping track of the missed tackles out here on the Saints defense, but they're abundant. This play is stopped in the backfield. Look at the mass of bodies right there, and all of a sudden Charles Sims, I know he has good change of direction or whatnot, but he can't get that many yards on a play when it should have been stopped.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Ready. Blue 80. Blue hat.
Doug Martin on first down. He slips a tackle, and eventually 2 or 3. Here comes a flag in late on the play. Doug Martin, the game's leading rusher with 60-plus yards.
Holding, number 13 offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And is on Mike Evans.
This Saints defense desperately needs a big play here. Second time in this half that they've driven the length of the field and gotten close to the red zone. I know they're young in the secondary. I know they're still trying to develop a scheme that works for them up front to get pressure, but somebody's got to make a play here. We're going to look at a scoreboard. Everybody across the nation is going to be wondering what's going on down here in New Orleans.
At the very least, the Saints need to hold Tampa Bay to a field goal. Winston will go low underneath. That's Doug Martin on the receiving end.
And that's something that Jameis has talked about openly. You know, there's nothing available downfield. He could have pushed the ball down, one of his 6'5" receivers or not, but he wants to find completions, and usually that's the check down out of the backfield. Doug Martin there. It was a good job by him, taking his time and finding the open guy.
Well, it's tight end Safarian Jenkins who has 2 catches. There were 22 touchdown catches by tight ends last week, the most ever on an NFL weekend. He had 2 of them. Winston may be looking for him in this area. They run on 2nd and 14. Martin, and this time the Saints gang tackle to bring up a 3rd down. Clock runs just over 7 minutes here in the 3rd quarter.
Let's see if the Bucs play this conservative, put in nickel package or a sub package on offense and try to get this 1st down, or if they stay with 2 tight ends, 2 running backs like they have early in this football game.
The penalty, the 8th penalty called against them. That's Dirk Cutter, the first-year offensive coordinator, matching with Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator of the Saints. So 3rd and 13. Winston rolling and throwing. Catch made. Short of the 1st down. Knocked down right away as Lewis Murphy. The ball came out, but you can see the official. He's saying it was down, and it's 4th down. Kenny Vaccaro came over on the hit.
Good job by the Saints defense there, Chris, to keep everything in front of them there. Flush Jameis out of the pocket and make him get rid of the football. They got to stop, give him a field goal opportunity here for Tampa.
And Kyle Brinza, who missed from 52, it was wide, will try from 35 here. He made his first kick from 55. To add to the Saints' lead, and he works it in there. It's now Tampa Bay 20 and the Saints 7. You're watching the NFL on Fox from the Superdome in New Orleans.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live local games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon.
Along with Rondé Barber, Chris Myers, there's Winston with Dirk Cutter. Came over from Atlanta. Drew Brees knows he needs touchdowns. It's a 2-score game at the moment. The Saints have lost 5 straight home games. And their home opener here, they're on the ropes. Marcus Murphy lets it go. 20-yard line is where Brees. And the Saints will take over on offense, trailing the Bucs. Saints and Bucs both chasing their first win of this season. In the NFC South, Atlanta is trailing. And Carolina is leading. The Saints will be playing at Carolina next Sunday.
Yellow. Yellow 80. Ready, come on. Here we go. Fine, Josh. 80.
On 1st down, Kyrie Robinson carries, and where has he been all day? A 1st down run across the 31-yard line.
And watch him put his head down at the end of this run. This guy loves contact. I would hate to be this DB right here. Chris Conte. Oh, man. Low man usually wins. Kyrie Robinson, forget that axiom. I just ran right through it.
Now, that's his first carry of the game, and he's one of their more explosive runners as they go without a huddle. Robinson again up across the 36-yard line.
Yeah, again, Chris, we were talking earlier in the game about how they've been off schedule because they haven't been able to get the running game going. And so, you know, you have Mark Ingram. You wanted to get C.J. Spiller some early looks in the backfield, who we haven't seen actually since that 1st quarter. So Kyrie Robinson hasn't had the opportunities.
As Spiller and Ingram look on, 11 carries for Ingram. He has the touchdown run, 3 for Spiller. Andrews Pete, the extra lineman, the rookie 1st rounder, comes in. On 2nd and 6, Brees is in trouble there, but floats, the catch is made. Fighting to get near the 40 is Ben Watson. A little short of the 1st down.
Well, you can tell Sean Payton is going to stay patient with his offense here. Only down 13 points. You know you have the ability with your quarterback to move the ball down the field. All you have to do is convert some 1st downs. They just haven't been able to do it. They're only, 4 of 8 on 3rd downs this game.
Spiller checks in, and he lines up as a receiver. Now he's coming into the backfield. On 3rd and 2. Brees to throw. Completes for the 1st down. Willie Snead. The ball comes out. And the Buccaneers have it. DJ Swearinger recovers the loose football and is knocked out at the Saints 40.
Lovie Smith talks about it all the time. To win in this defense, you're going to give up completions. They play a lot of zones, so there's underneath completions all the time. But watch this. 3 deep turnovers on defense or takeaways on defense.
What a punch out by Sterling Moore.
Yeah, great punch out, but 3 takeaways on defense is Lovie Smith's winning formula. You know he did it in Chicago. He brought the same mentality here. And sometimes a good tackle is tackling the football. And Sterling Moore does a great job getting it out and creating another one for Tampa Bay.
157, ready! 125! 125 top! 150! Sunday! Where do we go?
The commanding voice of Jameis Winston with all day to throw. Looking for Lewis Murphy. He's got him. First down to the 5 of the Saints.
How about that arm talent right there, Chris? Delvin Breaux gets completely lost in coverage here on Lewis Murphy. He was in great position before this ball went up. But it's just a scramble drill at this point. Sometimes you see good receivers come back to the ball. Lewis Murphy says, no, give me it down the field. He knows his quarterback has the arm strength to get it there on the run, too, man. That is impressive. And you see Delvin Breaux right there lost in coverage, not knowing where that football was.
A gain of 54 yards.
Mike 50. 150. Ready. Blue Whitey. Blue up.
Doug Martin will be eventually brought down, but turned the loss into maybe a yard gain. Went to the Pro Bowl, outstanding rookie year. Remember, had injuries. And the real runner is back. Even Rob Ryan was saying that Doug Martin is difficult to bring down.
He said it was like a kickoff return every time he touches the ball. It's just all the change of direction. But yeah, Doug Martin is definitely back. Injuries certainly were a factor in his fall from grace, but it's shown well today.
Second and goal. Jameis Winston. A little bit high. He had the receiver open and hung it there for Safarian Jenkins. A good hit broke it up.
Yeah, this looked like a completion all the way. Again, he buys just a little bit of time and touch pass. You know, a lot of young quarterbacks, they have one speed. They throw bullets or just don't have the arm strength, but he does it all here. Ball's a little high.
And Vaccaro made sure nothing on the rebound. So now third and goal.
We're good. Sunday. Where do we go?
Jameis Winston for the end zone, and he led a little bit too much. Vincent Jackson trying to race to the corner.
You heard him say, we're good. They knew they had the exact defense that they wanted. They were man-to-man, and just the touch is just a little bit outside. Not sure if Jackson could have dove for that and got it, but just a little miscue by quarterback. And look at him. He knows that he had what they wanted and just weren't able to execute quite good enough to get another touchdown.
Winston indicating that's on me. If I'd have floated it right for Jackson, we might have had 6. So they have to settle for an attempt again by Kyle Brinza. 2 out of 3 today from 22 yards. And he nails it. A 23-7 lead. Lovie Smith said last week was just one game. That does not define us. Today they're proving it. Jameis Winston had hit 9 passes in a row before those last 2 incompletions. The number 1 overall draft pick leading a future Hall of Famer here in Drew Brees. 23-7 in the Saints home opener. Brinza, who made the field goal kicking off, and drives it through the back of the end zone. Saints will take over on the 20. The notorious Conor McGregor is back, and he's taking over an all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
They call me an instigator.
What the?
A troublemaker. A wild card and a rebel.
Down there, spark like a...
So don't miss an all-new Ultimate Fighter Wednesdays only on FS1.
Well, the Saints turnovers on both of their second half possessions, a Breeze interception and then a fumble after a catch. Mark Ingram goes back to Breeze. Breeze is looking deep for Willie Snead, and he can't get there. Pass hung around a little bit. 2 Buccaneers in the area. Bradley McDougald was over there to get in the way. Let's check in with Jennifer Hale.
Well, Chris, Saints defensive coordinator Rob Ryan just rallied his defense and gave them a spirited talk, encouraging them, saying he was proud of that stop, proud of them holding the Bucs to a field goal instead of a touchdown. He encouraged them they need to be punching the ball out. You know, they practiced in padded gloves this week, partially to help with that as well as penalties. We'll see if they can give this offense some more opportunity, Chris.
5 wide receivers after the trickery fails.
Ready, what's up?
Middle of the field short to Coleman. It's still only a 2-score game. Obviously, the 2-point conversion, you'd have to, if you're the Saints, get 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions to tie. But right now, they're just worried about getting a first down. It's kind of an unusual play call, the Mark Ingram flip back at this point in the game.
Yeah, and the Bucs didn't buy it at all. You know, Chris Conte and Bradley McDougald, the other safety, were all over that play. They've sniffed it out before it even got any chance at success.
Kyrie Robinson is in.
Ready. Hey, easy. Kill. Like 5-8 right, 5-8 right. Ready. You ready for set?
On 3rd and 3, middle of the field, Colston. He's got a first down across the 41-yard line.
Marcus Colston is such a smart player, such a smart route runner. You know, the Bucs tried to spin this defense from one end to the other. We got an injured player on the ground. I think that's DJ Swearinger.
It is. He had the fumble recovery and run back moments ago. The Saints safety starting already, Major Wright and Mike Jenkins inactive today for Lovie Smith's defense.
But on that play right there, you heard Drew Brees at the line of scrimmage changing the point, changing it. They knew that the Bucs were going to spin that defense to the other side. And Marcus Colston and Drew Brees on the same page were able to pick it up. Nice completion, nice conversion on that 3rd down, 3rd and short.
Marcus Colston, the 10-year veteran, he's only missed 11 games over his 9 years in the league. Drew Brees has only missed 1 game since taking over as the starter, and Swearinger, good to see him up and moving around. Colston had 3 catches in the opener, and he has 3 today. Saints playing catch-up, down 13. But after a gain of 14 on that last connection, new set of downs from the New Orleans 41.
Over, like 5-8. Ready. You ready for set?
The screen, Kyrie Robinson. He spins up near the 50-yard line, a little short of the first down, and still going. He was knocked out and got up, and the whistle didn't go. The Saints are saying, the Bucs are saying he was down. The Saints are saying, let's move along and snap it. Breeze trying to get everybody to the line. Call it a 21-yard gain. Not leaving any. Here comes the challenge flag. Breeze was trying to get it snapped before Lovie Smith could challenge. And Rhonda, you take me through the play. Let's see if he was down or not.
Well, last week there was about 10 of these plays. Got Max Unger out in front, Tim Lolito. Get the ball in the running back's hand. Let these tough
Tampa Bay
runners.
is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down prior to where we spotted the ball. We'll review the play.
Hand does not count as being down by contact.
Is the knee, can you clear? Remember, it has to be clear to overturn it.
If his knee touches the ground, his left knee does touch the ground right there before he gets up. But last week against Arizona, this was the primary use for these running backs out of the backfield. We haven't seen much of it today.
There's a lot of arms and legs in there.
Yeah, you can see his left knee. I can see his left knee. And
there's the forearm touching with the ball.
Yes, Chris.
Yeah, that's an extension.
Is down.
So he is down.
Of the down by contact. You'll get a better picture here. Left hand, no, knee down, and then the forearm for good measure. He is down. Good challenge by Lovie Smith.
And quickly had to get it out because you saw Breeze run the offense up to the line and trying to snap it. So it will be short if they do overturn it of the first down.
There's such a bigger emphasis this year in the preseason and in the regular season with the Saints on getting their running backs more involved. You know, you want to be able to run the football effectively. You know, they get C.J. Spiller. They go get him because I think they want to not evolve, almost devolve back to where they were years ago when they had the Reggie Bush and the Darren Sproles, where they were able to spread the ball around to more bodies. Last year, Jimmy Graham was, 551 targets. I mean, but the most by far on this offense. And I think the other two combined were about 450. So without him, you have to give the ball to multiple players, and you got these three great backs, and I think it's helped this offense.
So ruled not down, challenged by the Bucs and Lovie Smith. It was a gain of 21. Let's see what Carl Jeffers, after further review, comes away with. We showed you what we saw.
After review, the runner was down, and he is short of the line to gain. It will be 2nd and 1.5 on the 49.5-yard line. Tampa Bay will not be charged with a timeout.
Carl Jeffers making sure the other side of the stadium gets a look as the announcement will bring up 2nd down for the Saints. And Lovie Smith's challenge works out. Each team still with 3 timeouts. .32 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Time, an enemy of Drew Brees and the Saints, just like the scoreboard.
Ready! High 5-8, yellow. Yellow 80. Ready, blue 90, that's it.
Tyree Robinson on the flip has room. Robinson with a first down. All the way to the 37 of Tampa Bay. And that'll bring the third quarter to an end in New Orleans. The Bucs 23, the Saints 7, but the Saints are on the move. We're glad you're watching the NFL on Fox. Start of the fourth quarter, and there's Jimmy Buffett. I wonder if he's thinking the Saint offense has been in Margaritaville much of this afternoon.
Ready,
Mark Ingram. Some tough runs, Kyrie Robinson, who's come in and had some tough runs and has really kind of re-energized the Saint offense.
It really has. I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris, because early in this game we were seeing a lot of C.J. Spiller, who's checking into the game right now, and he's more of the change-up back, the guy that does some of the specialty things on this offense. But Kyrie Robinson is a tough runner, man, and I'm surprised that he didn't get many touches in the first half of this game.
And also capable as a receiver. After a 5-yard pickup, low snap, Brees handles on 2nd down and knocked away. It was a low pass trying to go to Josh Hill, and Quan Alexander was there. Let's get a game break. Get an update with Mike Hill.
All right, guys, Falcons and Giants after an Eli Manning fumble. Matt Ryan and the boys go to length of the field, finds Leonard Hankerson 10-yard touchdown catch. Giants still up by 3 in the fourth.
So the Falcons are trailing in the fourth. The Panthers at home are tied with the Texans at 10-all late in the third. 5 wide receivers on 3rd and 5.
Ready, 20,
Reeves hesitates, has the completion, and falling forward is Brandon Coleman, but short of the first. So a field goal would be.
This could be an opportunity where Sean Payton decides to leave his offense on the field. I think he is. Mark Ingram's coming in, fullbacks coming in, another tight end. Not too early to do this either, Chris. You still got time on the clock. A little over 13 minutes, or a little under 14 minutes left in this game. You get a first down here, you feel a lot more comfortable.
On 4th and 1, Mark Ingram runs into his own man, but fights hard to get the first down. Andres Pete came in to help block, and Ingram made that happen.
That play right there could be a galvanizing play for your offense, can it, Chris? 4th down, your coach has enough confidence in you early in the fourth quarter to say, you know what, we're going for this. We need to get some production and get some points on the board. So we're going for it on 4th down, and Mark Ingram with some tough yards here, running through tackles to get that first down.
Yellow lady. Ready. 20, 2 seconds.
Mark Ingram straight ahead. This is a very different looking Saint offense when you're down 13, and they live by the pass. It's in their DNA, and yet they're running.
In years past, I've always thought that Sean Payton was, he ran the ball, but he ran it reluctantly. So far, I think early in this year, he knows that he has to commit to it. And this is a perfect example of him committing to the run. Down still 16 points and running the football.
C.J. Spiller turns the corner. That's a big run, getting a first down and going out of bounds.
And again, the Saints are staying in their sub packages and running the football. We saw them in the red zone early in the game getting saw man-to-man by the Bucs, and they ran it. And again, around the corner here, some good blocks on the outside there. Great one by Marcus Colston, and C.J. Spiller is able to pick up some big yards.
Spotted right at the 10 for a first down and goal. After a 7-yard run from Spiller.
Easy, kill. 5-8, ready. Remember this one.
Mark Ingram again, hit hard, but somehow he gets down to the 3. Keith Tandy came up from the safety spot. Ingram kept going. Coming off a career year. I mean, he's only 5'9", but he's running like a bulldozer.
I'm telling you what, Lovie Smith is probably beside himself right now. You got 8 guys in the box in there to stop the run, and every one of these running plays is getting up to the deep safety. Keith Tandy in the hole should not have to be making those plays. That should be up front. Saints have got something going in the run game here.
After he picks up 7. Quick snap. Ingram again. And they're going to give it to him. He went into the pile. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, they're going to looks like they're going to say his momentum was stopped. And notice here how Zach Strief comes into this pile late. 64 right there on the side of your screen, and tries to pull Mark Ingram into the end zone. You can't do that. You can push him into the end zone, but you cannot pull a runner into the end zone, and he called him down by contact just short of the goal line.
So the ball is practically touching the goal line. Sean Payton brings in the extra lineman. Look at that. 7 runs so far in this drive, and they're hoping for one more to get him across. And I think Sean's going to have to use a timeout. Sean Payton is calling for it. The play clock was running down. And that could be costly when you are playing catch-up and just over 10 minutes left in the game. New this season, stream live local Sunday afternoon games right on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Well, this is certainly 2-down territory. If you went on 4th and 1 from back beyond the 30, you're certainly going to go for it here. Question is he going to hand off? Is Breeze going to keep it?
Well, this offense worked so hard this week in the red zone, trying to find some production. Last week, they were 1 for 4 in the red zone against Arizona. This week, they came up with a different game plan. And instead of trying to throw it across the line, they said, you know what, let's run this thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they turn around and hand it off again here on 3rd and short.
Touchdown, Saints! Austin Johnson, the fullback, got the football. And they're going to go for 2, which would make sense because you've got to cut this lead and keep it a 1-score game.
Dive option here. You see the back release out, but the Bucs up front forget about the fullback. Penetration was on the side of the Saints offensive line. He's able to fall in pretty easily for that touchdown. Remember, a 2-point conversion can be returned by the defense
And they would get 2 points on an interception or fumble. Breeze throws. Willie Snead catches but does not get in. And Jonathan Banks was right with him.
What an outstanding play by Jonathan Banks. They run the return motion with Willie Speed trying to get him to the flat, but Jonathan Banks runs over the top of his defender and makes a great tackle before the goal line.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Xbox One, the official game console of the NFL. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Sean Payton, after the 2-point conversion fail, look, it looks like he's asking Drew Brees, why did you change the play? And look how close this was. The catch, had he just broken the plane, that 2-point conversion would have been
inches. Look at that,
good.
Inches.
Excellent defensive play. So it's still a 10-point game, but a 2-score game. Bucs leading the Saints with Morstead kicking off, and touchback, 20-yard line. Jameis Winston, 13 out of 19, 191 yards. He's thrown for a touchdown, he's run for a touchdown, and his team has the lead. It's up to the Saints defense to get the crowd going here. Tampa Bay has averaged almost 5 yards a carry on the ground, and now they're protecting a 10-point lead. Charles Sims slips a tackle and gets 5.5.
Well, at this point in the game, Chris, I think it behooves Tampa not to get conservative right here. We know they're going to try to run the ball, but with so much time left on the clock, you know who's on the other sideline. The play caller and the quarterback are the best combination in football over the past couple of years. So they got to continue to try to get first downs here.
Dirk Cutter, the offensive coordinator, who was in Atlanta, where he saw the Saints and Rob Ryan's defense twice a year, dialing in the plays right into the helmet of Winston. On 2nd and 5. It'll bring up a 3rd down as Sims carries. Let's get a game break. Check in with Mike Hill. Mike?
All right, Panthers and Texans, and watch the athleticism of Cam Newton on the draw. Superman! Didn't quite stick the landing, but he still gets 6. 2-yard touchdown run. Panthers on top, 17-10 the 3rd. Chris, run it back to you.
Whoa, did I just see what I thought I saw?
You did see it.
Holy cow.
He does amazing things every Sunday. It's 3rd and 3. Winston is going to go down. The ball's out. The ball came out. And the Saints have it. First takeaway for the Saints today.
We were just getting ready to talk about how aggressive this defense needed to get.
And Abali came up with the football.
They got the stops on 1st and 2nd down, running the football. Get your quarterback in a running position. And look at this heads-up play by the rookie. Kakaha goes in there and just steals a ball from Jameis Winston. It's the last thing you want to happen if you're this quarterback.
He forced it, and Abali came up with it. The Buccaneers, 23 straight games with a giveaway, the longest active streak in the NFL. And what a time for it to happen.
Great sequence there by the Saints defense. And it's the 3rd time. They needed stops in the red zone earlier. They got 2 of them when it mattered. Needed a stop and a turnover there, and they were able to produce.
The pitch to Mark Ingram. Sean Payton is still running the football. He'll go nowhere. Quan Alexander coming over for the tackle.
You know what? Last week's game plan for Sean Payton was really conservative. You know, I think they thought that Arizona was going to blitz them a lot. Well, the Bucs aren't really a blitzing team, but it's still been somewhat of a conservative game plan because of the way the Bucs play. And I give him credit. Stick to his guns, run the football. This is your new offense. Just own it.
Yeah, but you need 2 scores, and there's just over 8 minutes to go. Breeze firing. Josh Hill can't get it. Pass was low and outside. And there's a flag down over at the 25-yard line.
illegal motion, number 13, offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
That may be a break for the Saints. Joseph Morgan called for the penalty. Drew Brees came in. I know he's just worried about the win here, but 3 touchdown passes away from 400 for his career. Active Tom Brady has 3 today. He's sitting on 399 as New England is blowing out Buffalo. So from the 24-yard line, Brees harassed and short on the throw. He's trying to go to Ben Watson.
We haven't said Gerald McCoy's name much. But we got pressure there. The Bucs just dropped back into cover 2, and for this defense to be successful, you need your 3 technique to provide pressure, and they were able to get off on 4th down. That penalty was declined, by the way, so that was a 3rd down play.
And that a big 3rd down because now they're left with a 42-yard field goal try. Zach Hocker trying his first today, and that's what he did in his first game against Arizona. A big kick that is not good. And it's still a 2-score game. Despite the takeaway, Sean Payton's offense fails, and the Bucs lead it 23-13.
This game is sponsored by the all-new Audi A3 e-tron plug-in hybrid. Plug in and take names.
Bucs take over with great field position after the missed field goal. Doug Martin carries. And the ball came out again. Cameron Jordan has it for the Saints. It's another New Orleans takeaway.
Wow, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. If you're the Saints, you're like, okay, let's try this again. Doug Martin, who's been reliable, he doesn't even get hit, and he coughs up that football. Well, the Saints get the ball back on offense. They get another opportunity here. You know, if the kicker makes that play or makes that field goal, it's down to a 1-score game. I get it. But now let's see if Sean Payton goes for the jugular like he used to do back in his early days here.
Kyrie Robinson straight ahead. Robinson spinning out of the 16.5-yard line.
Well, going for the jugular nowadays is giving the ball to Kyrie Robinson, man. He has been really good in the second half of this football game. He's brought energy. He's running with power. He's running through blocks. You see the penetration there by Gerald McCoy, but just another seam in a single high defense. 8 guys in the box, and they're still able to run the ball. It's a credit to this running offense right now.
A gain of 14. Robinson stays in. Brees. Wide open. Pass caught. Touchdown Saints. Willie Snead. There is a flag down at the 10-yard line.
That's in that area of illegal pick. And it's interesting where this flag came from, Chris. It came from all the way across the field. While they talk about it, we'll take a look at it. Brandon Cooks at top of your screen. And yeah, he hits Alteron Werner. You only have a yard to do that in the NFL, and that was clearly past that threshold. This should be a penalty.
There's no foul.
Yeah, don't tease the New Orleans crowd with that. Make sure the announcement by our referee. We have seen the flag picked up before. You'll remember the Cowboys-Lions playoff game.
Well, if they pick this one up, it's the wrong call. I mean, clearly Brandon Cooks interferes on the path of Alteron Werner.
There's no foul for offensive pass interference. The block occurred within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. The ruling on the field, there's no foul.
So it's a touchdown, Saints. Willie Snead. And his first NFL touchdown. It took a while, but Willie Snead didn't let go of the football. Meanwhile, let's bring in our rules analyst with Rondé Barber and Mike Pereira.
Well, the 1 yard line will be about right there. And he's right. That was a good discussion by the officials. From my vantage point, I thought he was up the field a little bit more. It was a great sell by Brandon Cooks and a nice route by Snead to put Alterron Verner in a position to get picked, and touchdown for the Saints.
Zach Hocker, the kick is blocked from 33 yards. You know, it's a lot more difficult, and that could have been returned for 2. So for the Saints, alertly preventing Tampa Bay from running back the other way. We're going to hear from Mike Pereira in a moment on the flag, no flag. The Saints are 4 points down. Will Goldston with the block of the extra point is big because now it's a 4-point Tampa Bay lead. It's the third extra point today that was either blocked or missed, and the 7th so far this year. So this new rule, this new spotting from the 15 having an effect as the Saints get ready to kick off.
You know what it does? It encourages defense to get after it. A lot of times in those extra points, defenses would take time off, but not anymore. You get a chance for 2 points, they go get it.
Waving everybody off, so here come the Bucs after a couple of fumbles. Will take over at the 20. Mike Pereira, your thoughts on the flag, no flag?
Well, I'll tell you, I think it was a great pickup by the officials to pick it up, because I, like Rondé, thought it was a foul initially, but it has to be more than a yard. And then the other element, the defender has engaged the receiver. And so when you're looking at that, that takes it off also. So that's probably why it took so long, because they were looking at both elements of that and then did come up with the right decision.
Thank you, Mike. So Carl Cheffers and crew right on spot. Handoff, Doug Martin. And tough yards. So the crowd coming to life here, even though the Saints trail by 4. And for Drew Brees, he's now 2 touchdown passes away from 400 in his amazing career.
Well, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, you're all about protecting this football. Yes, you want to create a first down and get some time off this clock, but 2 straight possessions with turnovers, and they got this crowd humming, man.
Winston maybe wanted an interference call. Delvin Breaux, the local product, who has worked his way into the NFL.
Good pass coverage. Delvin Breaux jammed up Mike Evans at the line of scrimmage. Good no call.
Jameis Winston falls forward across the 30 and gets the first down.
What a big first down that was. Instead of staying in the pocket and try to force a football, he sees the defenders with their back to him. So he just says, what? I'm going to take this and run. Look at the determination, spinning off a tackle, potential tackle, and getting this first down. Great play by the rookie there, Chris.
He's run 5 times today, some by design, has a touchdown run and has thrown for a touchdown. Doug Martin shoved backwards. Under 6 minutes to play. Here comes a flag late.
Holding, number 78 defense. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play, automatic. First down.
A defensive hold on Bobby Richardson, who's from Plant High in Tampa, Florida.
Bobby Richardson's right here, I think, middle of your screen, and usually this call is because you're pulling somebody out of the way, but to be honest with you, I don't see that there, Chris.
Yeah.
There's not much there, not enough for a penalty.
That should have been a no call. Let him play. 8 penalties accepted on each team. It's a first down. Martin.
I tell you what, earlier in this game, Chris, we were talking about how well they're running the ball here, but man, Kevin Williams, Akeem Hicks, Cam Jordan, these guys up front right now, Bobby Richardson, who's been playing a lot in this defense today, has really stepped up, especially in the fourth quarter, and not let the Bucs run this ball and create on-schedule drives. Give them a lot of credit because they had some suspect play early in this game, and they've come around.
Bucs are in a wear the clock 4-minute offense. Under 5 to play. Winston looks to throw, has pressure, and is going to get sacked. Cameron Jordan.
Cam Jordan off the edge. Last week, much was made about how the Saints could not get pressure on the passer, but I'm telling you what, the film showed otherwise. At top of your screen up there, Cam Jordan got after the quarterback last week too. And here, Jameis Winston cannot hold on to that football. You absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation and set up a third and impossible for his offense.
The screen to Doug Martin. Doug Martin has a first down for Tampa Bay. And the Bucs beating the Saints at their own game, the screen game. Wow, it was 3rd and 20. There's a flag down now. They're pointing.
Tripping, number 68, offense. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And that is Joe Hawley, who, as I mentioned, came in for Evan Smith, the starting center, who was injured early in the second half.
And really, the offense has been completely different. He's in the middle, obviously, the center. Offense hasn't been able to run the ball, and then you get a costly penalty. I mean, okay, I get it. He did trip him. But you're legislating football games at the end of in the fourth quarter. I don't know about that one. But as it stands, it's a huge play.
Well, it changes everything. Instead of a first down near midfield, it's 3rd and 14. Winston on the move, signaling he's going to run and slide, and it's 4th down. And the Saints defense, with 3:40 to go, did its job.
I'll bring this back up again. 2 times the Bucs were down in the red zone. The Bucs had the opportunity to score touchdowns down inside the 5-yard line, and both times Rob Ryan's defense got off the field. Then in the fourth quarter, create 2 turnovers to bring them back into this game, and now you're putting it away, and Drew Brees, the magic man on his team, gets the ball with 3.5 minutes left to go down and try to win this football game.
Murphy, fair catch at the 24 of New Orleans. 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go. The Saints with 2 timeouts.
You know, I know he's a rookie. He's got a lot to learn, but watch Mike Evans in the slot right here. You know, Saints are in zone. He may have been open. He may have been able to throw this ball past that zone right there. But now it's all about this Bucs defense. Last week, much maligned, couldn't stop anything. They put in a good showing early in this football game, but now they're staring at Drew Brees right in the face. 36 career game-winning drives, and they only got 3 minutes to stop it.
Saints have won 7 straight against Tampa Bay head-to-head. Bucs last one here in 2011. Brees underneath, behind, and incomplete for Watson. There's a flag down when Brees went down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 56, defense, for contact to the helmet of the quarterback. 15-yard penalty. automatic, first down.
It's Jaquez Smith, known as Jack Smith, who's been
top of your
harassing
screen
him all
up here. He's
day.
been after him all day. He's been giving Zach Streif problems, but yeah, helmet-to-helmet contact. They're going to call that. Big penalty for the Bucs. Gets him up to the 40, almost the 40-yard line, and shortens his field. But remember, the Saints need a touchdown here to take this lead.
The screen, Mark Ingram is knocked down. The ball is out, and the Bucs were on it. And yes, recovery. Henry Melton.
How about that? Two of Lovie Smith's Chicago defenders. Henry Melton recovers it. Chris Conte down in the box playing safety.
Was he in bounds when he recovered it, though?
Well, if his foot is touching the line, it will be out. But if he has possession of this football before he touches out of bounds, this is going to be close.
That's close.
This is going to be close.
Now, you would have to challenge this. If it's well, it would be automatically reviewed if it's a turnover, and the rule is that it was, so they'll be looking at it automatically. No need to challenge.
Well, if they say he has possession when he falls on it.
The field is under review.
If he say he has possession as soon as he falls on it, I think this stands as a turnover, but we'll see.
Referees had a chance to review the fumble. Henry Melton of the Buccaneers trying to recover.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The defensive player had control with his arm in bounds, then slid out of bounds. First down, Tampa Bay.
Mike Pereira, our rules analyst, watching closely. Go ahead, Mike.
No, he describes it perfectly. The left forearm is down when he first gets control. So is the right forearm. But, you know, I have to tell you, this ruling was confirmed. These things happen so fast in real time, and you have to give the officials credit for making calls like this that they get absolutely right when they're so difficult to make. It's really a terrific job of officiating.
So Tampa Bay takes over as Doug Martin is going to be brought down. Here comes a flag. We may have a face mask over there.
Well, it's either going to be a face mask on Brandon Browner here or one on Doug Martin. Remember, this call goes both ways now.
Personal foul, face mask, number 39 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
Doug Martin comes in here with a stiff arm to Brandon Browner. He doesn't grab onto it, though, so no, it's not a penalty. I didn't see the face mask there by Brandon Browner, though, either. I mean, we didn't.
Well, if you're the Saints, this marches it all the way up to the 15-yard line.
Oh, yeah, there it is, for sure.
All right, so the Saints are hoping to hold them to a field goal and then it's still a one-score game. But if Tampa Bay gets in the end zone, New Orleans has 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. First down, Charles Sims. Knocked down at the 20.
Well, the defense has come up big on 2 of those red zone stops earlier. If they can do it now, I think you're probably feeling pretty good. It's of note, though, Chris, early in this game, Drew Brees got sacked by Jack Smith, and we saw him come up shaking his arm. And since then, he hasn't been as productive throwing the football down the field. You got to wonder on that sideline if he's suffering some effects from those early beating that he took from this Tampa Bay defensive line.
Now the Saints with 2 timeouts, will they try and take one? And certainly there's been no indication that he has any injury on the sideline. Sean Payton pacing all the way down to the 22-yard line, looking on. No. Timeout. Well, it's certainly not what Saints fans expected in the home opener, but they've had some wild games in the division between the Bucs and the Saints. And New Orleans, we mentioned, has won the last 7. But this is a different Tampa Bay Buccaneer team.
Oh, what a difference a week makes. Last week, it was ineptitude all over the place. Quarterback looked shaken. defense looked suspect, but so far today, they've been after this team in a really tough environment here in New Orleans. You got to appreciate the way that the Buccaneers have responded.
Well, their defense with 3 takeaways set up the offense as Doug Martin carries and is knocked backward. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we have just reached the 2-minute warning. The Saints and the Bucs will each have 2 timeouts. Who gets their first win of the year? Will it be the Saints or the Bucs? Just how important is this game for only the 2nd game of the year? Well, one of them, if they start out 0-2, look at your chances. 11% of making the playoffs. It's only 41% if you get to 1-1. Facing a 3rd down, protecting a 4-point lead. Doug Martin, the Bucs play it safe, and it'll be 4th down. And a timeout used wisely by New Orleans. They'll have 1 left with 1:56 to go.
I think that's the right play call in this situation. You know that a field goal puts you in a situation where New Orleans has to go the length of the field in under 2 minutes just to tie. Of course, they can go for 2 points if they want. But you don't want to risk throwing the football down here, turnover, stopping the clock most importantly. You force New Orleans to use that timeout. You get your big leg kicker on the field to attempt a 30-yard field goal.
Kyle Brinza, who made a 55-yarder, then was off on a 52, and then hit from 35 and 22, will try and make it a 7-point game from 30 yards away. And the Bucs lead by 7. Coming up after this game, America's Game of the Week, the Cowboys and the Eagles. The kind of finish that Tony Romo had against the Giants is what Drew Brees is hoping to do for the Saints. Brees' numbers here, 19 of 29, under 200 yards. He's suffered an interception and thrown a touchdown, but he was sacked 3 different times, fumbled twice. The Saints did recover his fumbles. They missed on a 2-point conversion. They've had an extra point that was blocked, and they had a field goal that was missed.
And they generally just haven't been sharp today, Chris, all across the board. Some inaccurate throws, uncharacteristically inaccurate throws by Drew Brees today. So you just got to wonder if he has the ability to take this team down the field. We haven't seen it much today.
Well, Buck fans were whispering Lovie Smith's team. He was brought in last year as a head coach to bring stability and credibility, and you thought he'd bring an improved defense. And after what happened in the opener against Tennessee, they were wondering. And after the season last year, the defense has played hard today for Lovie Smith.
And most importantly, created those turnovers. He said they needed 3. Well, they got 3 so far today.
Touchback, so 80 yards with 1 timeout and 1:51 to go. Drew Brees, this is what he's been up against all afternoon against this Tampa Bay defense.
Yeah, started with some inaccuracies in the passing game, and then Jack Smith around the corner got him twice, caused fumbles. Gerald McCoy had a sack early. There was just a lot of out of sortness with this offense. It's just unexpected for a Drew Brees-led offense today, and it's just been good play by the Bucs defense, of course, but I got to think that something has to do with the Saints offense as well.
Deep drop by the safeties, 20 yards downfield, so Brees goes underneath to Ben Watson, his tight end.
Well, the Bucs are going to keep those safeties about 15 yards. The only thing that really beats you here, look how deep they are. The only thing that really beats you here is something over the top. They're not going to let it happen.
Mark Ingram. And he gets out of bounds, which helps to stop the clock and gets the first down. Brees with that earlier touchdown, 38 consecutive games with a touchdown pass. Remember, he owns the NFL record of 54 straight, and that happened before that, and he also has 36 career game-winning drives.
And Drew Brees will be perfectly happy checking this ball down, not taking any chances down the field, as long as they keep moving this football.
Here comes a flag. Ingram has the ball and fights to get to the 40.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, number 68 offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
We have a Buck player slow to get up. That's Gerald McCoy, and Clint McDonald waving for some help over there. The penalty was on Tim Lolito. That is now 10 penalties accepted on the Saints, 10 also on Lovie Smith's team. A game filled with penalties, with turnovers, with challenges. It's a scrappy NFC South clash as McCoy heads off to the sideline.
Yeah, let's see if we can see what goes on with Gerald McCoy here, number 93. You know, hands of the face there, but if of more import here is the fact that Gerald McCoy is walking off with some sort of shoulder or bicep injury. I'm not going to speculate what it is, but this defense thrives on his production in the middle, and without him, it's much more difficult to generate the necessary pass rush for this D.
Will Goldston comes in for him. The Bucs had to use a timeout, one each. Tampa and New Orleans. On 1st and 20, Breeze is going to go down. There's Jack Smith again. And a timeout by the Saints, their last timeout used.
We came into this game, we came into this season really looking for a productive pass rusher on this Buccaneers defense, and it's been Jack Smith today. It was Jack Smith at the end of last year.
We welcome those of you that watch the Falcons and the Giants, an NFC South struggle here between Drew Brees and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Rondé Barber up, Chris Myers and crew. Jameis Winston has thrown for a touchdown and run for a score. And takeaways from Tampa Bay's defense have made it very difficult. Mark Ingram got the Saints on the board with a touchdown run for the lead. Vincent Jackson hauling in the pass from Winston. Winston then running in. And then the fullback Austin Johnson for New Orleans. And Breeze up against it now. He goes underneath to Cooks. Brandon Cooks gets up near the 40. It'll bring up 3rd down. No timeouts remaining for New Orleans.
And he might be the most exciting player in this division, Chris. That was just unbelievable. A little 5-yard pass. Gets 19 yards on it.
His 4th catch of the game. 1st down Saints. Falling at midfield, Marcus Colston, but the clock runs.
They're going to need to get the ball to the sideline. No timeouts. You can't put the ball in the middle of the field much more often, or they're going to run out of time.
Breeze, there's a flag down, and Breeze goes down. The ball comes out, and it's still rolling around. The Bucs have it at the 25-yard line.
Well, the recovery by the Bucs, but Jack Smith was clearly offsides here.
The flag was thrown right away. Penalty will stop the clock.
Well, they're discussing it. I mean, I think it was pretty evident this was 56.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
Left of your screen, you see Jack Smith down here trying to jump this snap count. I mean, it was close, but he was clearly offside. He's had a big game, 3 sacks. He's looking for pressure from this defensive front, and he's provided it. He has given Zach Strief just a tough sledding here today.
11th penalty on the Bucs today. They had 12 last week. From the 45. Breeze. Incomplete, a dangerous throw. Ben Watson was the target. That's an area usually when you can throw it up for Jimmy Graham, but Ben Watson is not Jimmy Graham.
Drew Brees has to get a completion here to the sideline. Again, 16 seconds. It only takes about 12 if it's a big completion to turn this around. Need something quick to the sideline, and then give yourself a chance to throw this ball to the end zone if it comes to that.
The Saints home opener, they've lost 5 straight games here in this building. Unheard of in these parts. Cooks has it, dives to get out of bounds, and does.
And there it was. All you needed from this Bucs defense is to keep everything in front of you, and they weren't able to do it right there.
8 seconds on the clock. After a pickup of 18.
The corner over there needs to play deep to short. That ball needs to go to Mark Ingram in the flat.
Now, how much time? Does Breeze have time for 2 plays?
Again, it's got to be to the end zone here. The deep defenders, you see them down there on the goal line. They have to defend the goal line. Do not skate into the end zone. Keep everything in front of you and make tackle.
We have a timeout, Tampa Bay, and the Buccaneers used their last timeout. Lovie Smith wanted to discuss what Sean Payton is dialing up. Today's game of Mike Burke's production, directed by Michael Frank, our technical producer Tom Lynch, Ernest Bauer, our technical director, Mike Strack, our broadcast associate director Tava Strand. Audio mixer is Kevin McCluskey. Our thanks to Rick Odioso and James Petrauca in the booth. Also want to thank Nelson Luis of the Bucs media staff, and from the Saints, Fitz Allison, his wife Killian, her daughter Lily, recently parents. Congratulations to them, taking in a wild game here. The Saints will be at Carolina next Sunday. Carolina leading Houston by 7 with 3.5 to go in that game.
Defend the goal line if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And really, anything in here, any completion in here, ball game is over.
Breeze. Deep. Knocked away. And 2 seconds remain. He was trying to go to Brandon Coleman, who is 6'6", a receiver that Sean Payton said, I want you to play to your size.
Yeah, good play. Tim Jennings about 5'8". Chris Connie coming over from that deep half safety, and just do not give them the opportunity if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And for the Saints, somebody on that side is going to have to make a special play here if they're going to win this football game, or just give themselves an opportunity to tie this football game here.
Heaving it for the end zone, and game over. Jameis Winston of the Tampa Bay Bucs come to New Orleans and defeat Drew Brees and the Saints. Jameis Winston, 14 of 21, over 200 yards, a touchdown through the air, a touchdown on the ground. Let's head to Kurt Menefee.